Well, hey guys, what's going on? Jamie here. Wanted to do a recap for this week. Lots going on with these different platforms. Some good, some bad, some really bad. And I'll cover all of these recaps in this video today. So, real quick, do want to remind you guys that I am not a financial advisor. Never take anything I say as financial advice. If you are going to get into any of these platforms, guys, please do your own research and due diligence. Know that there is risk involved. Guys, every single one of these platforms carries risk, some riskier than others, but all of them carry risk, guys. So again, if you're going to get in, make sure you're only putting in funds that you can afford to lose, guys. Risk capital only. Also follow me on Telegram. I will leave a link for that down below. If you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the little bell icon so you'll get notified straight away whenever I do a brand new video. So lots to go into, guys. Let's go ahead and just dive right in because yeah, there's a lot going on with these different platforms. Some of these updates are time sensitive. Some of them are may not be so time sensitive, but it's just good for you to know. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive right in. In no particular order, we'll cover all these different platforms. And by the way, like I said before, these platforms carry risk, guys. Okay, there's so many different ways that things can go sideways. Okay. We just saw what I consider a rug on Carol, at least on their base side, okay, which we'll talk about here in a second. And again, platforms will do things. They'll some of them will flat out, you know, pull the plug. Some of them will limit withdrawals. Some of them will make changes. Some of the changes they'll make, might be for the better. Sometimes it won't be. But again, reason why I say all this is because if you're going to get in this, if you're going to get into these platforms and play in this space, you need to make sure you have a strategy. Okay, number one, this is not so much a strategy, but it's just kind of like, heed the warning. You're going to get into these platforms, you better only be putting in risk capital. And then what you want to be doing is you want to be pulling out your initial deposit, right? Whatever you're putting into these platforms, you need to be pulling them out. Okay. Now, you might have a strategy where you're pulling all of it out, you know, as fast as you can, where you're just withdrawing. Maybe you might want to withdraw 50%. Whatever strategy you might have, make sure it revolves around at some point, or at least actively, you're pulling out your initial capital. Because again, these platforms, like I said, they can make changes, they can go sideways, and things can happen. So not saying that, this is a bad space to be in. It's certainly a fun space to be in, an exciting space to be in. There's definitely profits and gains to be made, 100%. But again, along with those gains is risk, and you got to be okay with both. They're like two sides of the same coin. If you're not okay with the risk, don't get into this space, okay? Because this space it's the wild, wild west out here, okay? And sometimes, these devs, sometimes they have malicious intent. Some of them, sometimes maybe they don't have malicious intent. They're just, for lack of a better term, like stupid, just dumb, and they make bad choices. Either way, you're literally giving these guys your funds, and if something happens, you got to be okay with walking away. I mean, that's just the way it goes. Okay. So that being said, just wanted to get that off my chest. But again, this is it's a fun space to be in, but it's also very, very risky. Let's talk about the rug of the week. Okay. The rug of the week is Peril on base. Okay. Now, I'm not in the base side. Thankfully, I never got involved with that. Now, of course, we don't operate in a vacuum, right? What happens on base, even though they say it's totally separate from the B&B side, and the B&B side is 100% separate, and et cetera, et cetera. I mean, we don't operate in a vacuum, right? And of course, even though they're two separate protocols and they say that, quote unquote, two separate deals, at the end of the day, it's the same team behind it, right? And if they're making, bad choices on one side, hopefully they're they're going to learn from that and not make, if they're solid guys and they're good guys, and again, I don't know them from Adam, right? I don't know who these guys are. Then they're going to learn from the mistakes that they made on the base side, and they're not going to repeat them on the B and B side. If they're sketchy and they have malicious intent, and their intent from the very beginning was to rug, then obviously that'll be an effect, right? We'll see. I mean, only time will tell. I think the nail in the coffin, guys, or the beginning of the end on the base side was when they put the token on a DEX. Okay, these platforms, guys, and I've said this before, I'll say it again. not just Carol, just any of these platforms. Okay, these platforms, they work really well when you can't get these tokens on a DEX. Like when these tokens, the only way you can get them is on the platform by participating, by putting funds in, by purchasing a plan, et cetera, et cetera. These platforms work really well. As soon as these platforms start putting their native token on a DEX, it opens up a whole can of worms. All these things, a ton of things that can go bad. Now they're exposed to all these different things, right? Now, of course, I'm not saying that just because a platform doesn't list their native token on a DEX, it's 100% risk-free, it's guaranteed. I'm not saying that, but you multiply the risk and the exposure to negative things happening once you put it on a DEX. And in fact, that's what I think happened. They put their base Carol token on a DEX, and it just went downhill from there. Now, they've said that they're not going to be putting their BSC token, their Carol BSC token on a DEX. And if they're good guys and they're legitimate, solid guys and have good intentions and just made a stupid mistake and made a bad decision, then they're not going to put the BSC token on a DEX, okay? Because obviously they've seen already what happened. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Right now, the BSC side works, okay? I've sold, I've claimed, whatever you want to call it. It's working. Of course, the liquidity is down because obviously, like I said, we don't operate in a vacuum, and people see what's going on the base side. They're like, well, I'm going to start selling. I'm going to start, pulling some funds out of here. And obviously the price of the token goes down. Natural, right? Natural. That's what's going to happen. But we'll see what happens here. Right now, this is paying. But of course, it's very interesting to see what's happening on the base side. And if in fact this is totally separate, like they say, and there's different mechanics, et cetera, and who knows, right? Then, this should continue to go, but we'll see, right? They're claiming that there was a flash loan of some type, and there was a scammer who did this and who did that. I've been around this space for a long time. Anytime that people say there's a flash loan, you know the deal. You know what's going on. Anyway, got to talk a little bit about that because again, this is it's the elephant in the room. This is something that's happened over the last, I don't know, 24 hours, 48 hours. What is it? What's it been? 24 to 48 hours. So people have been messaging me saying, hey, what do you think? What do you think happened? Again, I don't know what happened. I wasn't following the base side to begin with, but like I said, don't operate in a vacuum. So I do kind of keep a loose eye on what's happening over there. And it looks like they're claiming there's a flash loan. Whether or not it's legitimately a flash loan, who knows? Who knows? Don't know. Anyway, that's Carol. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about Infinity Pi. Infinity Pi, you can see your token sitting at $3.26, up over 4% over the last 24 hours. Nice little bump. And I'll tell you the reason why I think the price is going through a little bounce right here, because again, it went all the way up to $5.30. Then it started to come down because again, lots of people were selling off their bonus tokens. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do or the wrong thing. That's what people do. They get these bonus tokens. Once they get released, they start selling them, and it causes the price to come down. Normal. That's just the way it goes. There's corrections in the market. Anytime you have a token that goes from 0.001 cent all the way up to $5.30 in that short period of time, there's going to be a correction at some point. Now, has it hit a floor and is it back on its way up? We'll see. Again, we can't guarantee anything. That being said, I just heard that Japan just opened up, right? So a lot of leaders in Japan are coming on board. If you know anything about the Japanese market, I mean, they have funds, right? They're coming in at the highest level, I'm sure. That is going to be driving the price. And there's a lot of other markets that are opening up as well. But one thing they did put in place, and again, this is something I just learned about 10 minutes ago, is once you complete your 360% on your miner, you need to go back in. Now, previously, you can go back in with the same amount, right? Same miner. For example, if you have a $5,000 miner, you come back in with once you hit that 360%, you come back in with a $5,000 miner and you continue to earn. They did just institute a rule where you have to come in at a higher package than where you came in. So, for example, if you have a $5,000 miner, pays out 360%, When you come back in, you can't come back in with a $5,000 miner. That's what you had. You had to come in. You have to come in at a higher package, which is the new $10,000 miner. And that $10,000 miner, by the way, pays out 1.2% until you hit 360%. But you have to come in with a higher miner on that first reactivation. Now, after that first reactivation where it's a higher, a higher plan, then every reactivation thereafter, every time you hit 360% and you go back to repurchase, you don't have to keep bumping up to the next size package. You can continue coming in at that package. So for example, I'm going to give you a real-time example here. I said in my last video, I have to renew my package because it's coming up to 360%. It just did that. My $5,000 package, I have to come in. I can't come in at 5,000. I got to come in at 10,000. That $10,000 package will earn me 120%, or excuse me, 1.2% a day, 7 days a week, which is $120. Of course, included with my affiliate commissions, I'll earn 360% on that package, on that miner. Once that hits 360%, I can come back in and keep coming in at the $10,000 miner. I don't have to bump up. Not that there is anything to bump up because that's the highest package. But if I give you another example, let's say, for example, if I had a $1,000 miner, if I bump up, it'll be a $2,000 miner, but then every miner thereafter that I reactivate with, I could stay at the 2,000. They've made that change. They've made that call. Do I agree with it? Do I don't agree with it? Not for me to say. If that call allows the price or pushes the price back up to $5 and $10, I'm okay with it. As long as we can withdraw, as I've mentioned before, and we can, there's over 5.7 million of liquidity. As long as we can sell this on PancakeSwap, right? And, assuming we can continue to claim, which we can, I'm good, right? Because again, for me, I can make that back in a couple of days and I'll just continue to earn 360% on that $10,000 miner. So I'll make 30 every time I activate that $10,000 miner on this account, I'll make 36,000, right? So that's the change that they're making. Again, you have to evaluate if it makes sense for you to do that. If not, for me, it does, because we're making, look, I hate the way this sounds, and this is going to sound crazy, and I'm not bragging or anything, but we're just making way too much money on this thing for me not to do it. Like if I do it, then I'm just throwing away. There's way too much money coming in every single day for me not to upgrade to the $10,000 miner, which I was contemplating doing anyway. But now I'm going to be forced to do it, which is, it is what it is. So that being said, let's head on over. Let's do it on video because I put my money where my mouth is. You guys know that. If you've been on my channel for any period of time, you guys know that I'm the real deal. Like I'm, I tell it how it is. I'm not the most flashiest YouTuber, right? I'm not the most entertaining. I don't have jokes or anything like that. But you're going to get straight talk from me, right? And for me, like I said, it makes sense for me to do it. Of course, I don't know if it'll make sense for you. You have to evaluate that because everybody's in a different position. But since I have to renew anyways, otherwise I'll lose money if I don't renew because, like I said, we just have way too much money coming in every single day. Let me purchase a $10,000 miner on video. And this one here, it'll pay me 1.2% a day. And I'll earn on this $10,000 miner until I hit 360%. So this miner will pay me $36,000 before I have to renew that 10,000 again. So, okay, the countdown is 3.6 times and waiting for the income distribution to be completed. All right, so I guess I have to wait a little bit later. So maybe later on today I'll be able to do that. I'll probably do it on video. If not, it depends on what I'm doing. Maybe I'll do a video for Telegram, but I'll show it. So again, I guess I was ready to do it now, but I guess it's telling me I have to wait a little while, maybe like an hour or two. We'll see. In any case, that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, we'll keep it moving. So again, these platforms will make some changes. Again, as these guys aren't, from what I understand and from what I've been told, they're not going anywhere. They're opening up new markets. They have promos that they're running. I mean, these guys are here for the long haul. They're looking at, building up to a $10 token. Will that happen? I don't know. I can't guarantee that. All I got to do is, play the game and see what happens. But that's what's going on here. Now, that being said, let me start running through these platforms. Again, I'm going to rapid fire through these platforms. I don't want this video to go way too long. But I needed to get these updates out to you, talk about some of these different platforms. This one right here, this may be the safest platform in the space. And again, there's nothing 100% safe out here, but it's from a trusted team. It's from a team that in their other projects and platforms never had an exploit, never had one of these BS flash loans crap happen. They've never had an exploit in the code or some backdoor or some anything happen with their dev team. They've never had anything like that. Okay, there are other platforms, solid contracts, solid coding, never had any issues. Of course, they ran their course, but that gives me confidence to go into this pretty heavy, which I have. And this one here is paying out 0.8% a day till you hit 220%. And again, check out my overview that I did for this. I go over all the mechanics. We'll see. Not saying it's risk-free, not saying it's going to run for 10 years or forever, but so far so good. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. And again, because it's from a trusted team, gives me a lot of confidence. If you want to check it out, it's on Tron. It's called Tron Treasury, of course. And yeah, we're just building out our accounts with this platform. All right, guys, real quick, Centrium. This is another platform. I did an update earlier today. This one here just doing its thing. It doesn't pay out on the weekends. Okay, so again, it pays out Monday through Friday. At the end of your plan, you do get your capital back, which is pretty cool. And this one here is growing. It seems to me that it's a pretty popular platform in the space. Just growing. There's, I think, 750,000 deposited in this platform already. And it's only been out for 26 days, something like that. So yeah, if you want to check this out, I will leave a link down below. We're earning every single day from it. Well, passively Monday through Friday, but we're earning every single day, because there's an affiliate plan, but it's doing its thing. If you want to check it out, I will leave a link down below. Next up, GS Partners. This is a platform that just, again, continuing to perform, right? They made a couple of changes a couple of months ago. A lot of people didn't understand those changes, including myself. And then when it was explained to me, it made total sense. It was done for the longevity of the platform. But again, that just goes to show, like I said before, some of these platforms, they'll get changes done to them, right? Sometimes for the good, sometimes for the not so good. This one, it seems like it's for the good because, again, it's for the longevity and the sustainability of the platform. That being said, withdrawals are instant. We've made a ton of withdrawals. Just the other day, I did a $4,000 withdrawal from this. So again, it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. You want to check it out? I will leave a link down below. All right, guys, Intel Bots, brand new platform. It's been out for about a week, maybe a week and a half. There's a binary. If you want to participate in the binary, you can. If not, you can totally be passive. You can earn up to 1.8% a day. And again, Mondays is when we can withdraw. So just a heads up, I don't do another video between now and Monday. Monday, if you're in this platform, you can withdraw. They do put a reminder inside of their Telegram. But just letting you know, Monday, you can withdraw from this. So just a heads up on that part. Withdrawals are pretty fast. I've done one withdrawal because, again, it's only been out for a couple of days. So we've only been through one Monday. This Monday coming up will be the second Monday it's been out. So I'll do my second withdrawal there, but it's doing its thing. So we have a couple $1,000s in here. We're earning from it. Check out some of my other videos where I talk about, what I'm doing with it as far as strategy wise, showing my back office. I'm not going to do that here for the sake of time, but yeah, if you want to check this out, it's another paying platform in our portfolio. All right, next up is bDrip. Do I need to switch over to Base? I guess I do. Hold on one second. Let me switch on over to Base. Give me 1 second here. Let me switch on over to my wallet. Once I do that, let me switch over to Base. Okay, it's taking forever. And the blockchain has been congested lately. Okay. All right, here we go. So you can see here the price of bDrip is at $4.47. I mean, pretty exciting news the other day when when Carol said they were partnering with bDrip on their Base side. Unfortunately, they're running into some issues. What does that exactly mean? Or, for this quote unquote partnership, who knows? Who knows? All I know is that right now, price of bDrip is at $4.47. Protocol is working. You can sell your bDrip if you want. Again, the core of this is just like the original drip. Not that am I comparing this and saying this is the same as the ESC drip original OG one? No way, not by any. That was like lightning in a bottle, right? That platform, amazing, right? Ran for 2.5 years, did what it did. Team was solid. Forex, say what you want about Forex, but he never changed the protocol, right? Like what we see nowadays, right? There was never a flash loan issue or this or that, or, I mean, times like these, especially over the last couple of weeks, it makes you really appreciate Forex, right? Because he never changed the protocol. He never put any withdrawal limits or restrictions. Just nothing changed. To me, I love that. I love when a dev can do that. And again, maybe he's the last dev that was able to do that. I don't know, because these devs nowadays, I don't know what's going on with these dudes, to be honest. But look, let me not go off on a tangent. bDrip doing what it's doing, 1% a day until you hit 365%. We'll see. We'll see if this can go the long haul. I'm in it. I'm invested in it. So do I hope this thing goes well? Of course, absolutely, 100%. We're going to support it until I feel otherwise. So we'll see what happens. But other than that, price of bDrip sitting at $4.47. Can it go back up to $9 and $10? What was the height of it? I think it was $15 or $16, which was the all-time high. Or I don't know if it was the all-time high, but it was the high a couple of weeks ago when we first got in. Can it do that again? It can. It can. If the devs make good choices and they're solid and they're legit and they don't do anything stupid, this thing can be a monster. But time will tell. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, real quick, going to fly through this again. Like I said, this is BAM, BNB acceleration model. This is BNB in, BNB out, pays out 1.5% a day. You can make up to 2.5% a day, 7 days a week if you put in a bigger deposit. But right now it's paying out 1.5% a day. That's the base. And the contract is looking solid. It's not crashing or anything like that. This is just spitting out BNB to our wallet. And again, this is like I said, it's doing its thing. All right, guys, Agros, this one here paid out today. Again, every Friday is when it is payday for Agros. I put the post in our Telegram. Again, you can withdraw out in USDT, TRC20. You can purchase another slot or plan. It's totally up to you. But this is a platform that's paying out. It's doing its thing. Aladdin Bot just did another withdrawal from this one. This one is, again, another platform that's just performing. No real major updates. It's paying out. What can I say? Yeah, they're pretty good. Just another thing I want to mention is their customer support. From what I've heard, I haven't really had to use their customer support, but I've had 3, 4, maybe 5 teammates of mine that have said, "Man, they're on it." I mean, like I had an issue, I contacted them, they fixed it. These guys fix issues if there's an issue with your account, which is great. Not to say that you're going to have an issue with your account, but all I'm trying to say is they do have a decent customer support as opposed to some of these platforms have no customer support. I mean, it's just the way it is. So again, Aladdin Bot doing its thing. My DH Life, tomorrow, make sure you withdraw. You withdraw on Saturdays. Withdrawal gets processed on Monday. It's your wallet within 24 to 48 hours. So this one here, continuing to do its thing. 101 Moneymaker. This is another platform that's just so far so good. It's been paying out. Your available balance will get updated tomorrow. Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern is when you see your available balance. Funds hit your available balance, and then you can withdraw. Yeah, this one here has been performing. Between 1% to 1.3% a day is what you can make having an active deposit in here. So again, this one here is performing. Trade like crazy is working, right? Withdrawals are working. I just did a withdrawal the other day, hit my wallet. This one here you can earn until you hit 300% of your package. So again, this one here, they're starting to do, I don't know if they're doing daily Zooms, but they're definitely doing multiple Zooms a week. So this is starting to pick up a little traction. So I'll talk about this a little bit more as we move forward. ELAR, another token that's just been, price has been, bumping up and bumping up and bumping up. Now that we're in December, we're going to see what the price can really do, because again, they're going to be launching their first product this month. So we'll see what happens. But if it's any indication of the increase in price so far, it's going to be pretty exciting, because so far the price has doubled since the launch, and they haven't even launched a product. They're going to be launching their first product this month, so we'll see what happens. All right, real quick, global aid. I'm not really going to be giving you a full update on this, other than it's working, right? So far, so good. You know, this one here, every 3 days, we're withdrawing about 200 plus bucks. What is that? $200 every 3 days is what, six, not six, what is that, $2,000 a month? I don't know. I didn't do the math. I gotta see what I'm doing here. But again, it's just funds that, you know, we're able to withdraw. We're not really doing anything major with it, but as long as a platform can withdraw, I'm good. So again, if you have position in the accelerator, every 3 days you can withdraw. You know, you can withdraw that BNB out. So that's what we're doing with this one here. All right, guys, this one here, this is a private platform. They withdraw they process their withdrawals today on Friday. I already received it in my wallet. So these guys are on point. I don't talk about this particular platform publicly because it's private. Head on over to my Telegram. That's where I talk about this one here, but it's doing its thing, spitting out 1% a day, right? So far, so good. All right, guys. Liquidix, this one here, they went through a little bit of a maintenance. Now that the back office, you can see the back office is back up. I just logged in a little while ago. So this one here doing its thing. If you want to check this out, I'll leave a link down below in the link tree as well. Some of these OG platforms that I'm in, been with this one for over a year. EasyBot. You're not going to get any degen numbers from this, but it's working. You can withdraw. I'll leave a link for this down below. Same I can say for Daisy. This one's been out for 2.5 years already. Actually, more than that. Coming on this February will be 3 years, which is insane, right? That's probably the longest running platform that I've been in so far, and it's still doing its thing. If you want to check this out, it's on Tron as well. And then last but not least, guys, just a quick update for this. I talked about it the other day. I talked about how you can mint your licenses to NFTs. You do need to do that by December 9th. Just a heads up on that. Otherwise, it'll expire. Okay, so again, really simple to do. You take like 2 minutes to do it. Check out that video I did the other day on how to do it. But just a heads up that by December 9th, you need to make sure you have all your licenses minted to NFTs, or you're not going to earn. All right, guys, that's pretty much it, guys. Just a whole lot of updates, guys. Just kind of give you just my off-the-cuff, unfiltered thoughts on what's going on with these different platforms. Some of these updates might be good, some of them might be bad, but I gotta, you know, on these weekly recaps, I gotta give you what I gotta give you, right? I gotta tell you the way it is, keep you in the loop, and that way you can decide if these platforms are for you or for not, whether you're going to get in or not, whether you're going to start pulling out or not. Hopefully, I can deliver some value for that, or to you, you know, by giving these videos. So yeah, follow me on Telegram. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As always, guys, DYOR, do your own research and only put in risk capital. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. I will catch you on the next video. Peace.